My problem leads on directly from Paul's. It is around gender inequality, and it relates to the wider political problem that high levels of inequality lead to and enable the capture of public institutions around the rules of the game that's already been referred to as well. But I think that reflects a wider problem that I've been struggling with all day here, because the two dominant ways in which we seem to be thinking about this, on the one hand, we've got political settlements analysis coming through strongly to understand the politics of all this, which is helpful. It shows us how elite bargaining controls institutions. On the other hand, we have moral philosophy, social justice. Why should we care about inequality? Now, those two things don't sit very easily together. A very realist frame of reference which looks at power and tends to lead to, well, you're going to have to go with the grain type solutions rather than worry about promoting democracy tomorrow. That might have to wait for a while, versus a social justice perspective which cannot accept that rights-based thinking. You have to have that. So how do we keep these two things juggling in the air and come out with a sensible resolution at the end of the conference is my bigger challenge. So in terms of magic wands moving forward, the big issue is that lots of great policies have been adopted, some of them somewhat confused. Implementation has been absolutely lousy, and so practice needs to move much more onto implementation, and donors do have a role there. They're not very good at persuading governments at what to do. They are possibly could spend more than the 3% they currently do on direct gender-funded interventions and focus on capacity for implementation. But the bigger challenge, I think, is an intellectual one for us. I completely agree with Francis Stewart that social justice is the framework within which to think about inequality. There's a real danger now that economists have grabbed hold of it, and it's only meaningful insofar as it holds back growth and efficiency. There's something intrinsically unfair about inequality, which matters, which we'll lose if we go too far down the instrumental route.